Benjamin, how did you find carnivore?
I found carnivore when I was doing some serious research. Of course, my research began way back in 2002, but eventually it ended up in a carnivore as a result of an elimination plan that I was doing. That is, over time, as I was doing the research, I had issues. Of course, I was born asthmatic. Along the way, I became obese. High blood pressure or hypertension came in. I noticed bleeding gums along the way, especially in the morning. And the fifth thing was migraine headache, especially when they put on a hat or walk in the sun. So this has been a journey. And along the way, I've been eliminating them step by step. Of course, from my omnivore diet, I decided not to eat uh, processed foods because it's a long story if I have to explain how I eliminated asthma. Because basically, when I avoided processed food, my asthma started to improve. I started to be better. And then later, since I was keep on doing research, it was not asthma because now I transitioned from eliminating processed foods to a vegetarian diet, then to a vegan diet, then to a diet, and finally to a carnivore. And the main reason why I'm sticking with carnivore is because I had the best results on a carnivore. And why do I call the best? Because out of the five problems they had medical, I only managed to eliminate the last two. That is migraine headache and bleeding gums when I fully embraced the carnivore. Otherwise, they were still there, even though I was a vegan.
So, like when you tried the other diets, you'd eventually got your blood pressure under control and you'd eventually kind of lost weight and that kind of thing, but you hadn't controlled the migraines or the bleeding gums until you went carnivore.
Exactly. So optimal results, carnivore.
Right. Wow. And so, how long has it been since you've been full carnivore?
Full carnivore, I would say since 2023 September. That was full carnivore, nothing else. I think by 23rd of September to be 2 years. Otherwise, I'd been doing a keto before. And as I've just told you, I was on a vegan at some point, and I was also a vegetarian. And I was an omnivore initially when I eliminated the processed foods, but I was just an omnivore, but without processed foods. So my health has been improving all along, spontaneously.
So, do you have more energy now?
Definitely a lot of it, a lot of it, a lot. That's a lot.
Right. What kind of work do you do?
I do teach.
You teach?
Yeah, I teach in an international school.
Ah, okay. And like what kind of age are your students?
They are high school students, so their age should be around, because it's an American curriculum.
Uh-huh.
I think the grade 9 to grade 12. So I teach them chemistry and mathematics. So the age I think should be around 13, 14 to around 17.
Right. So when you're teaching, do you find that you are, I don't know, more effective in class?
Very effective. In fact, I would say razor sharp throughout because I never carry anything like breakfast, cereal, or something like I do see my colleagues.
Right.
Neither do I do so for lunch. Actually, I use the school hours to be my best time to do fasting because I only
Oh,
eat at between 4:30 and 5:30 in the evening every day.
oh,
So since I do OMAD, for me going to work in school all that time, maybe I do only take water. That's it. Otherwise, rest of the time I'm okay. Very strong, very active. Right from the time I land in school at 7:30 in the morning to 3:30, I'm always very active. Of course, my colleagues always wonder where I get all the energy, and I always share this with them, including the students. I share with them at the break time. I tell them what normally happens.
Right, and, is anyone surprised that you're not, that you can do this? That you can
Of
fast
course,
for most of the day?
of course, they are surprised. It's something that is. It attracts, I would say, two reactions. There are those who are extremely find it very weird and strange, but there are those also who think I have a point. And I'm happy at least some of my students have been able to restore their health naturally. I can see some are obese and now they're very okay. They always tell me, they're happy by the way, they always tell me, Mister, we followed your advice and the results are here. Of course, I've seen them transition from what they were to what they are currently.
Right.
They're very happy. Maybe teachers, maybe two of them.
Oh,
So,
wow.
yeah, two, yes. And they always tell me, yes, it's only that we have to be skeptical because this is something you're not used to. Because from school days, it's the opposite of what you're saying.
That's awesome. So, your OMAD meal, between 4:30 and 5:30 in the afternoon, evening, what kind of food are you eating? Is that, like, basically beef and eggs?
Beef and eggs. Like for the last 1 year, I used to source for fish also, but I've been trying to avoid, of course, it was wild caught fish because we are one of the best markets for fish around with a variety, a very large variety of wild caught fish. Issues to do with mercury, issues to do with purity, especially for fish. I decided just at a personal level to avoid indulging so much into the fish. So mostly I do beef and eggs. Mostly. That's what I do daily on a daily basis.
And, where are you based? Where do you live?
I'm based in Jeddah, Saudi Arabia.
Right. And, is it expensive to buy animal products like beef and eggs in Saudi Arabia?
Of course, it is when compared to my country, Kenya, where you have organic beef. The same thing here is slightly priced. It's slightly more by about 30%.
Is it imported from, I don't know, America or Australia or something?
They have local, yes, but also imports. They have both, but most of it is imported.
At this stage, is this the way you think you will eat forever?
Definitely, because I always believe that when we have a situation where two professors argue, like I normally see, I watch debates on YouTube, maybe two professors in nutrition argue. Uh, I'll give a good example. Professor Bat K is a hardcore carnivore. I think you know him. And another vegan professor, like I'm forgetting his name. This one in California is from SDA Faith.
Oh, you're not thinking of Neil Barnard, are you?
No, no,
No.
he's an old
Mi
man.
Michael Greger, no.
No, no, no. It's I remember his name. His name is common. He is a plant guy. Prophet Batke is a carnivore, hardcore. Those are two extremes. I've even listened to debates where Professor Batke engages vegans, experts, and what I noticed is that when two professors, of course, Batke is in nutrition, the other ones are just medical professors. I noticed that when they argue different things about the same body that we have, I just put it to the test, and that's the reason why I had to go through all this transition from omnivore where it's free for all, then omnivore without processed foods. Then I went to vegetarian. Then I went to vegan. I went to keto and finally carnivore. And I knew where the truth is. So anybody saying anything, I use my results. And for those whom I have helped, especially those who had chronic diseases, to reverse their chronic conditions and they're now living normally like me, I use that as my basis for argument. So I don't always believe that each person has got maybe a different thing that works for him, optimal. That is, for example, some people, plants will work for them. Some people, animals work for them. I don't believe in that for a simple reason. Um, and I've tried this in different people and I can see the results are similar. The only difference is the approach because some have damaged their system so much, some partially, and some very minimally. So the results will depend on that. And I want to give a good example. For example, somebody is diabetic. There are those who heal within 13 days. They are fully healed. The sugar level goes to normal to 5.2. There are those who take around 28 days. There are those who take around 40 days for their sugar to be normal. So it all depends on maybe the habits, mostly behavior, the habits and the adherence to the guidelines.
Yeah, that's a really good way of looking at it, and yeah, it makes it for me. It just makes sense. This is the right way to eat because people just heal in the same way, and that would indicate that because they're healing in the same way, this is probably the most appropriate way we should be eating.
Exactly, exactly. And
Mm.
I saw recently, I think a day or two, Fox News, where Dr. Ken Berry was being interviewed by Fox. I was surprised that to them it sounded very strange. And of course, there are doctors who are always against Ken Berry, and some of them in Fox. They raised these concerns. But Berry was very, very firm and explained how carnivore works and the carnivore babies, that that should not be even a concern because the kids are very healthy and other kids too have been doing the same. I have helped an anemic kid who was born with anemia and sorry to say this, almost died. I helped bring back this boy to life. As I'm talking to you, that boy is very strong. I was shocked to see him 1 year later. The boy is very strong, very active, and he's on a carnivore. I'm so happy that this works not just for adults, but even for kids. And that takes me back to what normally resonates with me. I always look at animals. Baby elephants will always eat what their parents elephant eat after weaning. The same to lions, the same to other wild animals. So why not the humans? We should do the same thing. After weaning, we should, post weaning, we just eat the same things our parents eat. And if you look at the age of these adult animals, the elephants or the lions, you can hardly tell the difference because their body size is almost uniform. They're all healthy. It's because of the habits. So that's very important.
Yeah, that's something I've always thought is very makes the human species stand out is that every other animal in the animal kingdom is uniform. If they're fat, they're all fat. If they're tall, they're all tall. If they're muscular, they're all muscular. It's only humans that we're just all over the place. If aliens came to Earth, they would instantly be able to recognize we are the sixth species.
Exactly.
Mm,
In
yeah.
fact, what I always do as a rule, when two professors or two doctors, whoever, differ on subject, I just look at the animals. How do the wild animals do it? That's it. And I'll get the answer.
Yeah, we've just got so far away from what we're supposed to be doing, and that's why we're so sick. Yeah. Um, so you've helped that child. How old is that child now?
Dylan is Now it should be about 5 years.
Wow. And there's a couple of people at your school doing it. So if you were advising someone about starting carnivore, would you tell them to go slowly, go through transition in slowly, or just kind of jump in and get started straight away?
Now, the best would be spontaneous because when you do it spontaneously, you learn a lot of things, a lot, just the same way I did it. But for those who are in a hurry, all I just tell them is cut the carbs and you'll be home and dry very soon. That's basically what I do. Those who are in a hurry. And I just tell them two things, cut the carbs and the seed oil. Once you sort out those two, you'll be home and dry very soon. Once you see the changes and you can ask me now for more engagement after that. But if you're in a hurry, just cut the carbs and the seed oils. So when they ask me for alternative, I'll tell them alternatives to the seed oil. But always my best alternative is tallow. Tallow beats even the olive oil. Tallow beats the cheese, the butter. It beats the sweat. The rest, all of them. I've always found tallow to be superior to all of them. Maybe I think it's because it's from the ruminants. But tallow is excellent so far.
Yeah, I like cooking in tallow as well. It's really, yeah, really good. Um, yeah. Well, has anything changed for you since you were last on? We spoke about a year ago. Have you changed anything with the way you eat or any of the exercise you do or anything?
What has changed is since I've been trying to tone my body for muscles, I've been doing a lot of exercises, especially in the push-ups. By the way, exercise for me is like fun, big time fun because I enjoy it so much, so much. I enjoy maybe because of the energy. Like when guys would lift something for 10 times, I'll do it 30 times. Would when we would go together at the gym with some of my friends here, I would extend and I still don't feel exhausted. And of course, I always tell them the difference is you guys eat other things, me, I eat tallow. That's the difference. So I get my energy from tallow. And they know I don't eat carbohydrates at all. Yet I'm stronger than them because they initially were asking, where do you get all this energy? And you don't eat carbohydrates like rice, like the wheat. I tell them, no, it's tallow. So they always nickname me Tallow Man.
Yeah, it's like a superpower, right? Because everyone has this understanding that they need carbohydrates for energy. And the fact that once you are fat adapted, you don't need carbohydrates for energy. Your body has all the energy it needs. It's kind of like a superpower.
Exactly. And I always quote to them Professor Batkay's statement that you don't even need a gram of carbohydrates into your system because the body can make it through gluconeogenesis if it needs it, whenever it needs it from the proteins. So you don't even need a gram of it. But proteins and fats are essential. Simple.
Yeah. So, Benjamin, if people want to reach out to you, is there any way they can get in contact, like email or social media?
Yeah, email. Yes, you have my email. Yes, bionyango73 at gmail.com. Yes, I'm also there on Twitter. I think you have the address also. On Twitter as Benzuri. I'm also on email. Yeah, not on YouTube really, but on YouTube, yes, I do. But I make comments, especially when something is controversial. I have my input there, but I don't have my own YouTube platform. I've not been interested, of course, for some time, but I normally consume what others present.
So, Benjamin, no worries. I'll include your email and Twitter in the show notes. Um, Thank you so much for coming back on and letting us know how things are going. I really appreciate your time.
Welcome there for having me.